Jane Edwards from Nottingham. Looking forward to a great day of TMS today.
Yeah.
Thank you. I'm quite new to this, she says. I love the cricket through lockdown, and I'm catching up with the basics. Well, that book yesterday, as we know, the proceeds all go to charity. Jane, a cricketing charity as well. What is a googly? I can recommend that. Then goes Anderson, and beating the bat again. Second time that over. Excellent effort. So I need to know what the umpires do with the pebbles in their pockets. Well,
they transfer them from one to another.
Yeah, they had 6, didn't they?
Well,
so
yes.
they'd move one to the other. It'd be their means of counting when they were on duty at the bowler's end. When at the square leg umpire, you've got your pebbles. The billiards or something, I suppose you'd play there, would you? What do you do with them?
Well, you transfer. As you say, the bowler bowls the ball. You flick up the pebble, catch it in the other hand, and stick it in your pocket. And that's one delivery gone. And then when all the pebbles are gone, but it can get a little bit tricky then with no balls and wides, because you sometimes lose count. I mean, I've lost. Yeah, you flicked it too early.
Yeah. But they're quite shiny pebbles, weren't they? I mean, they were very well preserved. They were special pebbles. They weren't just bits of gravel that we picked up.
I tell you what, who had the best set? They were like little beer barrels, little gold beer barrels. They were lovely.
David Constant.
Yes, I think it might have been. Yeah.
Here comes Wokes. Bowls. That comes away off an edge, down to long leg.
Very sort of tactile, heavy little sort of things they were. You know, like the things that you. What's it? Monopoly. You know, those little things like you have on the Monopoly board and things. Lovely. He had a nice set. I think you sort of go and find your best pebbles.
Well, but you went and found all sorts of things, didn't you? I mean, I remember someone else had lovely old pennies, the big old pennies, all beautifully shiny. Used to use those and spin them around. It was very theatrical. Nothing like just the old counters that we have now. You go, actually, some did have a pocket counter, didn't they? Like the sort of thing you see at the entrance to a venue, counting people in.
Yeah.
That's a bit dull. In comes Wokes and bowls, and that's played away straight down the pitch, fielded at mid-on.
The famous one, quite a famous one when I was playing. Do you remember that absolutely unplayable ball Carl Hooper bowled Nasser Hussain, and it scuttled along the ground?
The Trinidad.
That was the 7th ball of the over. It shouldn't have even been bowled. No. So not only Nasser was spewing,
right?
He was absolutely spewing with the ball that didn't bounce. Then I sort of sidled up to him afterwards, went, "You never guess what, Skip?"
No.
That was the 7th ball in the over. He went ballistic.
It was the most horrible, unplayable ball that can ever have been bowled in Test cricket.
It's the 7th ball.
There's Wokes bowls, and that's punched off the back foot down to mid-on.
I bet there's been loads of those.
Yeah. But it was part of it, and the umpire was playing with these pebbles, or whatever it was, whatever they chose to have.
Yeah. What would you choose?
It wouldn't be a counter.
No.
Well, a chocolate bar with 6 chunks, and you just eat one every ball of the over.
Well, some had mints, didn't they? But I don't know if they actually counted with their mints.
Well, I don't know.
But no, it was usually pebbles.
I'd have little cats.
But I'll tell you what, most club umpires today, they'll put on that big baggy old coat.
Big cats, 6 big cats in mid-pocket.
This is Sharma playing forward, playing out to point. I will bet, and we'll have our emailers on this. You know the club umpire's coat that's hanging up in the dressing room, and you hand it round, don't you?
Yeah.
You put that on today, and you put the hands into the pockets.
Pebbles.
What are you going to find in
stones
there?
Or pebbles?
You're going to find 6 stones in there.
You are indeed.
Because that's what club umpires do, quite rightly so. And they'll be in those coats.
Yeah. You could have the Spaniels.
I don't know if I can manage that. 51 for no wicket. Wokes on his way again now, and he bowls and rolls on the back foot.
It's flat.
It does all look a bit,
The ball sounds a bit soft as well.
It does. And it's not very old. It's only 19 overs or so.
Yeah, I think the pace of the game might just change a bit. It's been wickets, hasn't it, first couple of days? But I think we might be in store for some batting today, some runs.
51 for no wicket. Wokes from the pavilion end bowls, driven firmly for 4, straight back past him again. So both batsmen now have played this particularly authoritative stroke, and that's what the straight drive is. Off a cricket bowler, you play that, it's more than just a cricket shot, it's a bit of a message as well.
Yes, it is. And I reckon you're spot on, and we were talking about it with the Ramps, weren't we, that they were a little bit tentative in this series so far, just outside that off stump. because it's like, we don't want to keep nicking off because that means we haven't understood the conditions and everything. I reckon they might have just been told, right, come on, if you see it, hit it and be positive.
Paul Shellard from Oswestry. I used the metal disc.
Oh, lovely.
From the top of champagne corks.
Oh, lovely. Very posh.
That's my ball counters when club umpire. That is nice.
Yeah, lovely.
So you take a bit of the wire off, and it's that bit that sits on top of the cork. And
very nice.
Yeah, that's very upmarket.
You're very upmarket. A couple of beer bottle tops.
Well, a couple of man's brown ale tops.
There was no test umpire, I remember, who, when there was an appeal, he'd move his
always
phone into his pocket, and it looked like he was about to give you a... Who was it? Can you remember? Was it Barry Duddleston?
Who was that? No, in goes Anderson.
They were
played away defensively.
Batsmen dropping like flies.
Who was it?
It was
John Hampshire, maybe?
It might have been, or Palmer. Was it Roy Palmer? As it said, how is that? And he'd look and he'd wait, and then he'd
very deliberately take his hand out.
Yeah, and then just throw the stone, and everyone went, oh.
That's a really good. Who was it?
Who was it? I think it might have been a Palmer.
It was all part of the theatre.
It was. Good memory, that.
It is. Here's Anderson, solidly defended by Sharma.
Might have been Duddles.
No, it wasn't Duddleson. No, he didn't do enough tests. It was somebody who did a regular test match umpire.
Yeah. You thought he was getting it out the holster. It out the holster just to fire you out, and he just tossed the stone and put it in the other pocket.
Oh, it's annoying now. Wasn't Dickie?
No. Barry Ledbetter? John Holder? No, it wasn't John.
No. Oh, someone will remember.
Yes.
Or maybe he himself will be listening.
One of the umps will be listening.
Goes Anderson is wide of the off stump this one, and ignored by Rohit Sharma. Oh, you set the minds going now, Andy.
Did you start? Was it Rudy Kurtzon's slow rays of death?
Yes.
Which, as a spectator sitting side on here for the 05 Ashes final test, and Flintoff got a couple of LBWs, and the roar the crowd got as that finger took about half a minute to get fully...
Of course, the bats would be on his way, wouldn't he? As soon as he saw it coming out.
Yeah. I reckon they practice it. They definitely practice it.
Who was the... Yeah.
I know the one you mean.
Anderson bowls again wide of the off stump. Hasn't anybody emailed in yet with the answer?
There'll be someone out there. I'm going to do some research when I come off here, so I can remember. I remember playing with him.
Peter says Tuffers, often there were Watney's red mini barrels, which were given away as a publicity promo at the time.
That's it. Oh wow, it's all coming back to me. Yes. There you go. Wow.
Who's that?
Great fun.
You could take it out and then transfer it to the hand and put it back.
The right stitch up.
Yeah.
I did like your suggestion, Andy, of the chocolate bar.
Yeah.
And
90 overs though.
You'd have to get on the peloton at the end of the day.
You might just position.
Roll dabs the ball to point. Good length delivery.
Square leg. There'd have to be a treadmill. Just as you walk the square leg, get on the treadmill.
Although it has felt like that at the test matches, Phil. Have you noticed this summer?
What?
We've had quite a lot of chocolate to tuck into.
Yeah, we have. Yeah, we've been very well looked after as ever.
One of those little boxes of sushi with 6 little rolls in.
Oh yeah.
One for each ball of the over.
Oysters.
Problem is the late
sashimi.
no ball calls could cause havoc.
Sashimi. Sashimi would be best.
Plate of oysters.
Don't want too much. This. Chris Herriot tweets, I once went out to umpire at my club, Fell Cricket Club, put my hand in the pocket to discover 6 cherry tomatoes. And one was rather ripe.
Oh, nasty. Can't leave cherry tomatoes in there for a whole season, can you?
Robinson is in, back of length delivery. Sharma turns it to square leg for a single, but mid-wicket comes around to collect the ball.
Sun-dried, of course, would be all right.
We're at to 27.
Could crack an egg into a bowl after every ball, whisk it up, make a little omelette at the end of every over.
Maybe in conditions in, I don't know, Western Australia or something.
Yeah. Cherry tomatoes.
Chuck it onto the pitch and fry it up.
Yeah. On the back of your bat.
Yeah. Michelle Young, my husband used to use shrapnel balls found on the battlefields of the Great War
Wow.
as his counters when umpiring.
Wow. Now that's like musket balls or something. Yeah, crikey, that's another level. Very good.
Paul Hammond.
Yep.
I always used to pick up some small marble pebbles off the beach every time I was on holiday to use as my counters when umpiring. They'd always disappear during the season as I'd lend them to colleagues.
There you go. Oh, marbles would be a good idea. Don't want to lose your marbles.
Quite. Wokes steaming in from the pavilion end, 2 slips in a gully as Raoul defends back down the pitch. Had a few people tweeting in this morning from various different places. Philip Sinclair, Saudi Arabia. Phil Bennett, Portreath doing the coastal path down there. Clark Ainsworth from Hong Kong. So yeah, great to have your listenership on such a crucial day, you would say, in the context of this series. Phil Tufnell has departed. He's gone to find his marbles as Michael Vaughan is in.